Hello.
Hello. Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I'm great, Wendy. So great to meet you today.
So great to see you. We are live with the Pathfinder Mastermind. Welcome back to our Whenever We Want to Do show. We're very excited to be here today. We have some really good thoughts we want to share with you. Just as a reminder, Rachel and I are collaborators and Pathfinder one-to-one. We work with people on many different aspects on how to connect spirituality with their business practice and their career. And today we are talking about many different things, but particularly something that is an experience I think everybody has had. And we want to kind of give the spiritual perspective of how to see the objectives and the outcomes that you want fulfilled in a faster, more meaningful way. Rachel and I both work with clients one-to-one, helping them extract the ideas that they have in their heads, get it out, manifest, learn more about themselves, and bring I'll call it a bigger mindset into their thinking through their businesses and through their careers. So I'm very excited to start. Rachel, I was telling Rachel that I was working with a client this week, and I had an experience with him that reminded me a lot of an experience I had a while ago. So I'm excited to share that. I'm going to make it really fast.
Yeah, I think it's a great example that we should start talking about what is attachment, right?
Exactly, attachment and what it means and how to and how it can derail you. So just really quickly, I'll share the story. A few years back, I was in a position, I was being recruited for a job. And as part of the job requirements, you couldn't even be considered for the job unless you took this test. It's like, I call it the test because everybody in the culture around this company knew about it. People talked about it. And it's like I'll call it like an SAT test. You guys may have all heard of it. It's called CCAT or something like that. And it's a really intense test. It's timed. You have to finish a large number of questions within 15 minutes. And the questions, quite honestly, if you haven't just come out of college, you probably need about an hour and a half to answer all the questions correctly because it's a lot, right? So I just remember when I was, kind of cleared, you're going to take the test and please do it within a week. I remember watching myself go down this road, Rachel. I don't know if you've ever happened to you where like you start to psych yourself out, right? You have an objective. I want to pass the test, right? I just want to be able to get to the next level. It's not even like I want to sell 1 million units of something, right? It's just a small objective. And during this week, while I was studying for the test, everything came up. I was watching myself. It was amazing. I was taking the practice test. I remember the first practice test I took, I got 3 out of 17. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, I can't believe this. How am I going to pass this test? They have all these tools that you can use that isn't the practice test where you get to kind of train your brain, which is really fun. But, and they try and trick you, right? That it's games. It's just games. But you're sitting there and like, I'm super competitive. So I wanted to like get to the highest levels and I kept getting stuck and I was like beating myself up. I was calling friends who had taken the test going, I'm never going to do this. Like, it was absolutely amazing how through the week, I caught myself sabotaging myself basically, right? With these limited belief systems, with my internal ego kind of, pushing me to feel really bad about the whole thing. So I really felt down the day before I took the test, but I remember reminding myself, hey, you have a spiritual practice, you have a belief system that you have tools and things that you can use to overcome it. So I made a decision, and I'm almost done with my story and we can talk about it, but I made a decision that I was gonna not allow this test to define me, right? I had put everything into this test. my belief system about myself, my worth, my intelligence, my ability to provide sustenance for my family, for like to be liked. I wanted to be liked. You know, if I didn't pass this test, I was not going to be like, people were going to think I was bad. It was, and I said, it's enough. Like, this test is not define me. So I tapped into some spiritual tools that I use, and I know, Rachel, you have suggested to your clients, and I have to mine, where I decided to completely reframe what this test meant and who I am. So I did. I used a tool. I call it the I am, like the I am tool. So I wrote a list of what I am. You know, I'm intelligent. I have wisdom. I am a great teammate. I am a great asset to any company. I wrote all these I am statements about who I am. I set my intention, you know, that I was going to enjoy taking the test. I was going to really look at it as a puzzle, not a test. That I was going to be excited whatever the outcome was, because I know there's a bigger picture for me. And maybe that particular job wasn't the job for me at that time. And the most important thing I realized was that by taking the test, by even sitting down and pressing the go button, because like the clock starts and you've got your 15 minutes, that the minute I hit that go button, I had already passed the test. Because what was the real test? It was the whole week before, going through this whole process and all of that, right? And so right before I hit that go button, I wrote in big letters, I passed, with exclamation point. And I kind of had a celebration in my head before I even started. I was like, yay, I did it, I did it, I did it. So why am I bringing it up? I'm bringing it up because a client of mine had the same issue where it wasn't with a test, it was something in his business where it was stopping him, like the attachment to completing the objective, to getting there in a certain amount of time, to having people actually look up to him because he completed it, was really holding him back. So I wanted to ask you, in your experience and talking to the clients that you have, and help people understand what that attachment is to the outcome and how much it blocks us. What do you see in your work?
In business and every area in life, I found that we all have attachment to the end results. So most people do not go into any business, any decision making without really analyzing what will be at the end, what will be in 5 years from now, what will be in a year from now, what will be in 10 years from now. And all those calculations that we make, in one hand, it's amazing that we have a plan and we set up, but spiritually speaking, we have to understand that as we prepare in our plan, to be in a place where we are letting go, and whatever the outcome that will take place, this is exactly what needs to be. For example, I have a lecture, and one of my main lectures about this is about, I'm calling it the doors. So, you know, in every given time that we have an opportunity that comes into our way, whether we meet people that we join in ventures together, again, for business or for any type of opportunity to grow in sustenance. And that opportunity, I call it the door. And there are a few types of people. Those people who literally, when the opportunity comes, when the door is open, just entering the door, no matter what, they have certainty that whatever it will take place will be good for me. And there are those people that still standing by that door because they're making calculation, and I will add here calculation with a higher force or with themselves, thinking, okay, if I'll enter this door, what will take place? Will I go, this will be good for me, it will not be good for me? If I invest this money, how what would the result will be? Will I get what I really expecting or want? So those people are still standing by that door. And I'm not sure if those who are listening or watching us right now, who are you? What type of people are you? Going through that door or still standing by that door making the calculation. And making the calculation, it's another way of describing someone that is attached to results.
Right.
As long as we will be attached to the result, we'll be stuck again with our fear, with the doubts, with those belief systems that you've mentioned, unless we completely choosing to break free from that.
Exactly. And we're not saying, look, I'm not going to tell a CEO, a high-level CEO of a publicly traded company, forget it. Don't, just walk into a board meeting and tell your shareholders, look, I'm in a different place. I'm not worried if we hit our Q3 numbers. That's not what we're saying. This is how you bring spirituality in business. It's not that you don't have the objective. It's not that you don't want to pass the test, make this quarter's, goals, make a certain, hundreds of millions of dollars in a year. It's none of that. It's on a personal level, how you detach yourself from what the outcome is, and you focus, right, on the work that you're doing, right? Because when you externally attach yourself to that outcome, there's so many factors. Think about it. There's so many factors that can interrupt you that you have absolutely no control over. So spending time trying to calculate for all of the external, COVID-19, if you had the greatest business plan in 2019, 2020 might have completely ripped it apart. By the way, there are many companies in 2019 that didn't have any way of projecting how well they were going to do. And let's just say thank you very much to Zoom for the ability for us to go live on Facebook.
Exactly.
Zoom is one of those companies. Yes, they were going along very well. And then this pandemic happens, and guess what? They're doing things they never expected. So as business people, when we attach ourselves to things that are impacted by external forces that we can't control, right?
And we have conditions, right? And we have conditions. If this will take place, I'll do this. If this will do, I will do that. It's like another talk that we're going to have later in another time. It's about negotiation, but just a little bit about, right, the negotiation part. If we are coming to negotiate something, whether it's a purchasing of a house, it's doing a business, whatever it's that, we need to come from a place that consciously we know that we may not receive what we want. When we come in from that conscious mind that I'm releasing what will take place, then I'm coming with no fear. And the idea is of not being attached to result is to, first of all, to do the internal work of what our fears are, what our objectives, what is our agenda conducting this particular business. If I'm analyzing it within me and identifying what is that's stopping me, then when we come to the physical situation, there'll be an amazing result that you wouldn't expect.
Exactly. And also it's a lot about reframing, isn't it? It's about reframing what success looks like. I remember the minute I had the realization that the real test that I was needing to pass was that internal breaking, like getting through that internal limiting belief system that made me think that if I failed, I was bad. That once I said I already passed that test, right? I already did it. Honestly, the test was so easy. I mean, I can tell you I passed the test. I can tell you this now. But
of course you passed the test.
Easier because I already felt like I'd passed it. So going into it. So for leaders of businesses, for entrepreneurs that are just starting out, when everything feels hard as an entrepreneur, like everything you start setting up, like you're always kind of facing blockages, it's really important to take those moments and reframe what's going on and really look at what are the objectives, and letting the universe a little bit take care of it, right? Moving forward, not stopping, have goals, write them down, move towards them, inspire your teams through them, but also think about the ripple effect on your team when you are in your mind saying, yes, we need to get here, how we get there, what it looks like when we get there, and maybe if we don't reach it, maybe there's going to be something bigger for us. Think of how that impacts your team and who you're leading. they're inspired, not stressed, right?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
it's
It's
you
like
know,
even if it's someone that is doesn't own a business but an employee in a place where he's about to or thinking of asking for a raise or hoping to go to his next level within the company in another position, and we are attached to the result again,
mhm.
and then we start, will they receive my request, or will they accept my thing, how will I do that, what will I do, and then most of the time we're still at the door, not going and asking for the raise, not pushing ourselves to move in the ladder in the positions in the business. And this is the same, whether you're a business owner, whether you're an employee, it's the same internal work that needs to take place before that.
Exactly. So at Pathfinder One-to-One, we have lots of tools that we use to help, our clients at every level to implement some of these, um, like this way of bringing that kind of spiritual internal thinking into their business so that actually they see more success. The minute you stop being attached, you actually move forward. Things flow more. You see opportunities. It also allows you to see opportunities that you may not have thought of, right? Because you're so focused on an
Exactly.
objective and your way of getting there. So sometimes by letting go of the outcome, you're actually expanding your ability to have success.
So
So,
we can give like a tip. One of the tips that we can give, if you up to it, all of you that are watching us, just take an exercise for 1 week only, that you do not do any action but visualization. It's a visualization tool. Just imagine yourself every day. Take yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day to see, like, what is the ideal results that you want to receive. What are the fears that you still have, or the pain if you will not receive it? Go through this internally, go through this, imagine, visualize your life when you remove that fear out, when you take that pain and you take it out from your equation, and see what are the blessings that you're going to receive, what is the outcome that you wanted to receive. Actually, you might see that you will get to a much better result, even just visualize the outcome in a different way, like open up the screen to see the other possibilities, only by visualization of removing any fear or any doubt that you have about yourself or about the team or whatever it will be.
and also when you do this exercise, we always like to say, because our job is to share how you can connect spirituality with business practicality,
Right.
is in that moment you're connecting to a bigger picture. You're connecting to a universe, a universal energy that can come in and actually help you get to where you want to go. Because if obstacles come in your way and you're not worried about how the outcome looks, when those obstacles come in, you're already prepared because you've already visualized a bigger picture. You've already visualized the worst case scenarios, the best case scenarios. You've taken the energy of, like Rachel's saying, fear out of it. So we hope that this week you have the opportunity to use this visualization. We would love to hear. Please feel free to give us feedback on how it works for you. I know that when I had the opportunity to share it with my client this weekend, it was something that he was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was like, it's not something you think about because business is so result oriented. Okay. So just take a moment and do this. We really would love to hear what you have to say and any feedback. Also, we want to remind you that you can find us at www.pathfinder, the number one, TO, the number one.com. That's pathfinder1to1.com. We have a lot of services that we provide our clients to help them bring this spiritual and internal and transformational thinking into business. And we would love to talk with you if you are in need of that. And we are very excited to join you again sometime soon, whenever the mood hits us, because we have a lot to say and we want to share it all with you. Rachel, you have anything else before we leave?
I'm just gonna, I'm just already excited to see what will be the outcome for our audience.
Yeah.
It's so exciting when we just letting go, really working on letting go various fear, identifying them, what are blocking us to really receive what we want. It's exciting. It's exciting. It's such a freedom feeling. So please share with us. Share with us and ask us questions. We're here for you to support in any way.
All right. Thanks, Rachel. We'll
Thank you,
talk
Wendy.
soon. We'll see you soon.
It was a pleasure.